Idan Morim.
Good to see you, bro.
Thanks so much for coming,
It's my
man.
absolute pleasure.
Wow.
It's so cool that you're starting this.
Thank you, bro.
Mamash, it's
Yeah.
so cool.
I'm trying shit out.
That's the only way to do it. Yeah.
I've been wanting to have you since the beginning, because like whenever we talk, we have really interesting conversations. You're an interesting man. I want to start from your Grammy experience.
Yeah.
We just talked about it a little bit, but
Yeah, I just came back from LA. I was nominated for 2 Grammys.
that's crazy. You were nominated.
Yeah. So a lot of times people will be nominated because they've played on a record and the record won a Grammy, and then through that they'll be technically a Grammy-winning artist, but there's a difference between participating in a record that won a Grammy and being
Yeah.
nominated under your own
Like
name.
me.
This record that was up for the 2 Grammys is a live record that we've made in Vegas with Nicole Zaritis' band. And it had a bunch of cats that aren't usually in the quartet that tours. And she decided to submit the record under each of our individual names. So everybody was nominated for the actual statue. And it was me, Nicole Zaritis, Dan Pugach on drums, Sam Weber on bass, Keon Harold on trumpet, Tom Scott on saxophone, and Rachel Ackroth on keys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was crazy because we did all the things, the nominee party and the actual ceremony and the premiere ceremony.
Yeah.
And I was in this scenario where I could have gone home with the actual statue. Yeah. So technically I am now a 2-time Grammy-nominated artist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it like? The ceremony, being there?
It was super loud.
Loud.
The loud experience, just experientially. The whole thing was very loud.
Loud, physically or
Both.
Okay.
I meant like metaphorically on my nervous system and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's first of all, leading up to it, you're in the situation where you're kind of a blue collar musician and you tour and you record and you teach and you do everything that we do. And maybe people in your family or people that you grew up with aren't super clear about what it is that you do. You know, they're like, oh, I guess he played guitar.
Yeah.
And I guess he still does that.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know how they have no idea how that works or what that life looks like. You know, they see stuff on TV or on social media, but and then they hear your name associated with this thing that they thought belongs to a totally separate echelon of the entertainment industry. So now they're hearing your name being associated with this word that they know. Maybe one of the only words they know in relationship to the music industry. And then you're getting these like Facebook Messenger messages from people you grew up with like 25 years ago being, I can't believe it.
Yeah, just from being connected to like your name connected to
a
the
brand.
Grammys, to a brand.
To a brand. Yeah.
A PR brand.
That's
a
right.
PR machine.
That's right. And and the brand recognition on that institution is unbelievable. It's kind of like Mercedes, you know, there's like everybody knows that word.
I mean, that's what it is, right? It's a brand.
That's right.
That's basically its purpose.
Yeah. That's basically its purpose. I think you know, like a lot of things in the entertainment industry, it has 2 sides. Like I've seen people there pick up Grammys who absolutely deserve the recognition. For example, Nate Smith picked up a Grammy, and he's one of the people who brought me to New York. Like listening to him play was one of the reasons why I moved here. You know, so for him, after absolutely scorching the drum kit for 40 years, however long he's been doing that professionally, is something that I was happy to see happen.
But it's interesting how already in this conversation there's a hint of internal classism, internal to the music industry, because like the higher the white collar musicians or artists have the privilege to like reject it, to be like, oh yeah, fuck the Grammys, I don't need a Grammy, like I don't play this game. But then the blue collar, like you said, like we don't really have that privilege. Like you just see the reaction of people back home, and like they don't know this whole game of like, oh, it's uncool, it's cool, whatever, it's corporate America, all that shit. They're like, whoa, like my man from childhood
That's right.
is nominated for a Grammy.
That's
Like
right.
that's insane. So it's, I don't know. It's like, yeah,
It goes back to what we were talking about just before we started, where it's like, do you push it or not? Do you push that image of yourself? Do you flaunt it? And
I flaunt it.
well, it's good. It's good, and it's good because I tell you why. If the purpose is ultimately love, is connecting people to your music, is expressing yourself in a loving way to the medium of music, and having people meet that expression and be inspired and heart expanded by it, if that's the ultimate goal, which I think we can agree it is. I mean, obviously you want to make a living and everything, but ultimately, if it was only about the money, you could have sold stocks or whatever.
Should have done that.
Yeah, well, if the purpose of this is to amplify the state of inspiration and seeking of beauty and all of the things that art has utility in, then you're helping those people you grew up with nearing your expression by telling them, look, it's okay, this has this like USA organic stamp or whatever it is. It's a stamp of
Right.
approval that
Right.
you can enjoy this. This is of quality. You know,
Yeah.
and if whatever helps people enjoy art, especially now with this looming threat of like it all becoming automated by AI and stuff, like whatever gets people in the room listening to live music, connecting with records is good,
Yeah.
And I think I should get over myself when I feel this like inner contempt of like, oh, I don't want to flaunt it, or it's not the way I want to market myself, whatever. Like, come on, whatever works, like
Right, exactly. And
get the
you
music to
again,
people.
you were nominated. Like it's your actual name. It's a different kind of thing.
It's I guess, yeah, it all depends on how you want to work with it. Like this record is led by Nicole Zaritis, who I've been touring with for and playing with for over like 10 years. And she is the real deal in the sense of like, this is a person who plays music live for people all of the time, 200 fucking nights a year.
Oh, you're doing 200 nights a year?
Not specific. Well, we do a lot of dates a year, especially now. It's becoming more and more frequent. Like we're gonna do twice Europe this year, and once China, and once Asia. Sorry, we did Asia last year, and twice Europe.
Whoa.
So the quartet tours a lot, but she does so many other things. She will sing with big bands, and she will do solo shows, and she will sit in with different artists, and she does songwriting sessions and recording sessions. She is someone who truly and utterly throws themselves at the work of playing music for people. It's as blue collar as it gets, and I have the weekly experience of seeing people, shaking my hands, thanking me for the experience that we've brought them. Maybe the only experience of like being emotionally vulnerable and moved that they've had in the past like 3 months, maybe a year, maybe three, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's a crazy feeling.
she was able to use her Grammy wins and nominations to amplify that work. And so when I see that, hell yeah, that's great use of that PR machine.
Yeah. You touched on something that is maybe my favorite thing in being a musician. That is like, we're doing this now. There's like, we're in the studio, there's camera. It's me and you, but it's gonna be virtual. It's gonna be on the screen, right? And the screens disconnect us, right? We can all agree on that.
Hell yeah.
But our work, being touring musicians, playing live, is maybe slowly gonna be one of the only, like the last standing professions. I don't know. I don't want to sound dramatic, but like we get to see people and come to touch with them every night or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's something so beautiful about that.
Absolutely amazing.
Like from rehearsal, from like cooking in the studio, from being in your own world to all of a sudden like
it's unbelievable.
touching people.
Yeah. And all around the world too.
Yeah.
And one of the things I agree with you, and I think it's been the kind of like the less stronghold of musicians for a while. I mean, there are people who sell records, and but it's since streaming platforms, like playing live music is basically how you put food on the table, I think,
Yeah.
for most of us. Um, One of the things I love about being on the road is how it dispels a lot of illusions that people have about culture and people. Like,
Yes.
in my perspective, wherever you go in the world, it's just more people.
I love that.
There's
Yes.
nothing going
Right.
on in terms of like differences.
I love that.
I toured China last year, and people were like, China. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
come on.
Yes.
There is nothing. It's just more people.
It's
There are
huge.
restaurants and
Yeah.
apartments, and there's a road, and on the road there are
Families.
cars,
Exactly.
and in the restaurants people eat food, and in the
Yeah.
it's just more people. The beauty is in the small things, is in the small minutia of cultural differences. It's very much on the surface, but it's just more people. And as a musician, you get to have that bird's eye view. You're like, I'm in this, like, I mean, I'm on planes and trains, and I haven't slept, and I ate weird food, and 20 hours later I'm somewhere in the world, and now the lights are off, and people are sitting there in this completely passive, vulnerable role of being an audience member, which is very weird. It's kind of like it's kind of being psychoanalyzed, but you don't even have to say anything, right?
Right.
You're totally just absorbed. You're like, because I am now an emotional sponge. Hit me.
Yeah.
And you get
Wow.
to share this thing you're excited about with them, and hopefully it moves them in a way, and you both come out with so much value from that experience. And that's it. That's the job. You know,
That's the job.
nobody was harmed. No one was fucked over. You know, like it's one
The
of
opposite.
the opposite.
Yeah.
So I think in that way it's a privilege, and it's hard as fuck, and it doesn't pay enough, and all the things. But just in terms of experientially what it is that we do, it's fucking magic.
I love that.
Yeah.
Very well said. And I will even add that they put themselves in this passive position, but even you or us, in a way, we also put ourselves in the passive position, because no matter if we were just on a plane to China or we just travel for 30 hours, no matter how we feel, which is usually maybe not so good or jet lagged
Right.
or whatever it may be, once we walk on that stage, it's like you must. You don't have a choice. Like, no one's asking you. You must put it to the side and be like, now music.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm giving you something for which we've gathered here.
Yeah. And think about the length you'll go to do that.
It's insane, man. The amount of shows, like, I'm sure you too, like, that you fly like whatever 14 hours for like a 20-minute set.
That's right.
Then you fly back, you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
We were a couple months back. I was playing at Jazz Lincoln Center, Shanghai, and some of the band members weren't as well adjusted to the Chinese cuisine as I was, and man, like people ran off stage to barf and come back. You know, like
Wow.
take a solo, ooh, and back
Shit.
on stage, and
Wow.
and a few days ago I was playing a gig in Connecticut, and then we had a little interview after, and the interviewer said, how do you guys muster all this like discipline that's required to play as well as you do and do what you do? And me and my friend Sam Weber, who's in the band, the bassist, we were laughing because the word discipline was so misplaced. Like to them, to the interviewer, it looked like, how are you like achieving this like highly technical, difficult feat? I was like, oh, bro, that's not at all the engine. You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
engine of this is this like high intensity love, curiosity, and commitment to like this religion, to this craft, to this
Yes.
to this
Yes.
life. But it's funny to think about how certain things can feel hard and laborious if you don't want to do them, if they're chores. But other things you can invest incredible amounts of effort in, and it feels just like, oh, of course I'm going to do this. Of course I'm going to travel for 25 hours to play for an hour, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I also love what you said about China and people. Because I also spent a lot of time specifically in China
Yeah.
last year. And it really, I had the exact same effect.
Yeah.
And it's back to like the virtual or the imaginary. Like we sit at home and imagine things, or like the media is brainwashing us. And then you land and you're there and you're like, wow, like this this place is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Like I loved it.
I love it too.
And you just I actually like loved it.
Me
Like,
too, man.
wow,
No,
like I
real,
was
real
like,
love for
what
Shanghai.
are people
Yeah,
talking about? Like this, the people are so curious. They love music, of course. But like, of course, why do you even have to say it?
that's right.
It's like you said, it's just people,
That's right.
and like that's again, we have that access and privilege in a way to just like all of a sudden appear. We're like Pokemons, right? Or like just appear, like boom, I'm in Europe, I'm in whatever,
Yeah.
South America, and you're just like, oh, it's all the same. It's all the same.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same. You can even say that places which are not touched by the Western internet even have like a slight higher amount of preciousness to them. Like
Yeah.
in China, they because of the firewall, they didn't know how famous we were, so they decided to treat us like we were the most famous.
Oh,
You
like
know?
the
But
host,
they don't,
yeah.
you know, they're not on Instagram. They don't know how many followers you have. So like, if they came all the way, I'm assuming they're big time, you know. And we played at the city Fuzon, and when we did the CD signings after the show, man, people's gratitude. This one Chinese woman, you know, we're signing the record, and she looks at me and she said, with pretty good English, by the way, she goes, "I know that you've traveled far to come here and play for us, and I want you to know how beautiful it was and that you are loved."
Wow.
And man, I'm like, you know, I haven't slept in 3 days. I'm crying. I'm crying there at the city signing, you know.
Wow.
From this genuine acknowledgement of gratitude. It's one of those moments where you go like, fuck yeah, I'm happy I'm doing this,
Yeah.
you know.
Where it all makes sense.
Yeah. It's this is better than selling a car, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
no, this on selling cars, people need them, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, beautiful. So maybe we can like touch on you tour a lot, right? Do you have I don't know, like how do you say, like regiment?
For sure.
Like,
Yeah.
How do you keep up with it?
I have as many regiment as I can squeeze in. I think like general rule of thumb is meditation helps me a lot. Whenever you can do that on a plane, and there's a lot of downtime in a car, on a plane, in a hotel room. If you can just keep touching grass, so to speak, like down,
Yeah.
lower your nervous system volume, lower from the buzz and the noise and the jet lag and the weird food. It's this constant effort of like going down the gears. Physical exercise as often as I can get it. Every hotel gym I hit. Luckily, with Nicole Bands, who is one of the bands that tour the most that I'm in, my buddy Sam Weber on bass is super down with the hotel gyms. So we always like do tour workouts together all the time. I try to still practice.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's a really special thing about only playing music on stage when you're on the road. It's a vibe. And it's its own practice and it's its own magic, but I try to connect to the instrument personally outside of the material I'm playing on stage. Even if I can do a transcription or like learn something new, I always like look for guitar teachers because I feel like being engaged with a personal practice really keeps the relationship fresh. It's almost like the more I'm out in the world, the more I try to go in.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And that keeps me
sane.
Yeah, it keeps me feeling like I it's my life. You know, I'm not just tossed in the in this
Right.
experience that takes me from A to B all the time. A good
Yeah.
book, you know. And you know, I remember our friend we're both good friends with Max, and a few years ago he was on the road like nonstop. And I remember getting these weird phone calls from him at different times of day. And he was like, "Oh, what's up?" Just calling to chat, you know. And the more, and it almost felt like it was a part of his practice of sanity was touching
course.
base with friends all of the time,
Man.
because it's the only there are no constants in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A phone call from a friend on the road.
Yeah.
Literally can be life
Yes, sir.
saving.
Yes, sir.
It's so true how you put it. It's such an unbalancing experience. It's like you really are thrown physically and mentally to like crazy states,
Crazy. Yeah.
states and
Yeah.
states.
Yeah, that's right.
But
Yeah.
like
Yeah. And the loneliness of a hotel room.
the loneliness. Yeah, I remember even texting you
Yeah.
from China. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in this fucking hotel room. Like,
Yeah.
what's up?
It's being love bombed and then being at a weird hotel room, just like,
Yeah, within like a few
yeah,
minutes.
minutes, sometimes minutes. Yeah.
Minutes.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And I don't. I've said this on the podcast before, but like the highs are so high of a show and after the show and before the show, and the lows are so low, and there's no in between. There's no like
No, there's no regular
mediation.
life.
Yeah, there's no regular life.
No.
It's like literally you were just on stage, like in it, loved. Then 30 minutes later, you're just alone in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? Watch TV? Like that, you know?
And that's the better scenario,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because there's another side of it where you're afraid of the hotel room, and so you stay out and
Yeah.
maybe you indulge. I'm lucky in the sense that I've never had a relationship to alcohol. I just don't like the way it makes me feel. But if you're not down with the deep weirdness and sadness of the hotel room, you're gonna try to finagle for other things to happen,
Yeah.
and that's cool. Like hanging out after the gig, it's amazing experiences. 100% meeting, hanging with the promoter, hanging with like people who came to the gig, amazing. But if it's an escapist thing where you're like, I'll do anything but sit in that hotel room,
Yeah.
now you're doubling the tax on your body. And that's how I feel like that's what really warns people out.
Absolutely.
Like the more the tour is crazy, the more I'm trying to like eat more vegetables, sleep better as much as I can. Like you have to do the work of the balancing act. The crazier it is, the more like a nerd you're trying to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Oh, you know what? I still we only started touching on it, but I want to hear about the Grammy, because we talked about it a little bit before. The Grammy, like, how do you say, like the ceremony,
Yeah.
and obviously, like, things are very political right now.
Incredibly
Everything is political.
It felt like a political event.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. In what way?
Well, first of all, I think that the arts has always had a stance, right? The arts is the bastion of leftist ideology a lot of times. It's almost like if you want to perform a task well, you have to gear your brain towards performing that task, right? So when you do the dishes, you just do the dishes. It's not something you're super committed to doing. But if you're doing something like playing music or being a chef or being a writer, then slowly over the years, your brain becomes primed to performing that task, whatever it requires, whatever faculties of mind are required in order to perform it well. And artists have to gear their beings towards humanity, towards vulnerability,
Yes.
towards love, towards care, because that's what it is.
Yes.
Music has always been, as early as, I don't know, the caveman banging on whatever you want to, however far back you want to go, it's all the blues. The blues is huge for me. Maybe almost more than, maybe that's a connective tissue between jazz and rock, and for me, like that's kind of like in the base of the pyramid, and blues is essentially a prayer. It's the transmutation of pain. It's the alchemy of pain into expression, into relief, into redemption. And I think as an industry, this is all to say, to answer your question about why the Grammys felt so political, as an industry, we're all people who are geared towards humanity. And when we see those values being stressed, we respond by doubling down on them. That's a very romantic way of putting it. A less romantic way of putting it would be maybe that just as a media apparatus, their place in society is to be as counterculture as they can,
Hmm.
and that it's a nice it's just how it's just a nice look for them.
Mm.
I'm not sure. I don't know Bad Bunny or Kendrick Lamar personally, obviously, but and I imagine that they do have these political opinions genuinely. And I'm glad that the arts is there to always provide you know, a counterforce to whatever state power is being,
Mm.
you know,
Absolutely.
doing its thing. Yeah.
I'm thinking about this a lot. For me, it's still an open-ended question that I keep tackling from different angles internally. The question of, does an artist have to be or need to be political or engaged in politics? And if so, because usually the answer is yes, right?
Really?
Well, I think we need to define political.
Right. Let's do it.
But let me just give the broadest definition is to engage with the symbolic, with the cultural, with identity, identification, all
Mm-hmm.
of these things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
where do I stand in the symbolic realm of society, of humanity? Like, where am I from? What do I represent? By the way, a lot of uh, people, a lot of fans, first connect to an artist because they identify with them on that realm, on the identity realm, right? Like Bad Bunny played the Super Bowl 2 nights ago. So it was all about identity,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Mm-hmm.
I love Bad Bunny,
Mm-hmm.
but it was before it was about the music,
Mm-hmm.
or it's hard to say where that line is stretched between identity, politics, and music. It all gets enmeshed in there. So for me, it's an open. I will say I think artists must have the space to not be political at all,
I 100
right? Because
100% agree.
music exists on this non-symbolic. Like we must have the freedom to be outside of it, or to look at it from the side and decide how we interact with it. And I am not so sure that we have that freedom today, at least in the mainstream.
Really? What's
Maybe we do. Actually, that's a question
but
I'm
let
asking.
well let me ask you this: what's the biggest genre of music today?
Pop? I mean, what?
No, it's rap music, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay, who is the biggest rap artist?
Kendrick?
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar is on his 25th Grammy. The
Yeah.
last Kendrick Lamar album is one of the most personal statements I've ever heard in music.
Yeah.
When I listen to Reincarnated, I have chills all over my body,
Yeah.
and I can barely contain the gratitude that I feel towards his success in producing something so unbelievably personal. Like, this is someone who went from bitch don't kill my vibe to like, you've successfully put into words your journey as a man through this life.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
The journey of someone who cares deeply about being human
Yeah.
in ways that are not even remotely political. I mean, of course, it's political to be a black person in America. Of course, it's political to be from Compton. But what he's been able to do, and he's the top G.
Oh yeah, he's the best.
Does not, to me, that album
He's the
is
GOAT.
the opposite of political. And that's the biggest
Yeah.
artist in the world.
Right. Interesting. Yeah.
So a lot of
Even
times,
though Good Kid was also very personal, I would say.
sure. No, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he avoids politics, you know? I'm just saying that what that album is about for me is about the journey of the soul. The journey
You know
is
what?
like deeply psychological. And it's not at all concerned with identity politics or with like whatever LGBTQ issue or like no, it's his deep inner thoughts about moving through the world as a human being, and that's what's at the top. So
Well said. Well
yeah,
said.
I think there's a lot of there's an ambient feeling like everything is political because of how social media has permeated our lives, but I think in actuality people always appreciate real talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I agree. I agree. When I actually think about it, so maybe it's like, we talk about the Grammys or the Super Bowl. Maybe it's like these events around music that I don't know. Like, how would you?
Man, when Kendrick came up to receive his last Grammy, I was there in the room because the nominees get to sit pretty close to the stage. So I got to see him and I got to see the prompter. And the prompter
Mm,
is huge, man. It's like a movie screen because the arena is unbelievably big. And 40 seconds after he's up there with like 7 other people, it's blinking, wrap it up.
uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
huge blinking. Man, he didn't even look,
Wow.
you know? Like he was so clear that he was as comfortable on that stage as he is in his own living room.
Amazing.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think, listen, the Super Bowl halftime show is watched by what, hundreds of millions of people? There's a lot of money on the table. And when there's a lot of money on the table, you got to make the investors happy, whatever. So you hit the
Yeah.
notes that are gonna.
Mm, yeah.
Again, I'm not saying that Bad Bunny is a sellout. I have no idea. And if his artistry is wrapped up in politics because of where he's from and who he is, I mean that's cool too.
Yeah.
But I think the Super Bowl halftime show is an apparatus, is something that has to kind of like guarantee a return, kind of like how a Marvel movie has to.
Mm,
And so when you're speaking to everyone,
yeah.
you have to speak at a certain level.
Right. Right. That's a good point. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, by the way. I had rehearsal, so I've just
Uh-huh.
seen clips on social media. But I really liked the Lady Gaga kind of like Latin version of.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that was
cool.
cool.
That was
Yeah.
cool. Interesting. Yeah, so I guess we still have I need to think about it more.
What are you thinking? Where are you at?
No, again, it's hard to know what's like hype, buzz, internet, right? Imaginary realm things,
Yeah,
and what's real. Because when I think about it, music still has the space to be just music.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite writers is Leo Tolstoy, and towards his later years, when he got older, he kind of moved out of the city and moved to nature, and he had this whole rant about like, I can't stand the noise of culture, and the newspapers are crazy and stuff. It seems like he's describing the same fatigue that we all think is like new because of Instagram.
Right.
And he's not the only writer. I read this beautiful essay called Self-Reliance by an American essayist from the 1800s called Ralph Waldo Emerson. It's called Self-Reliance, and he's doing the same thing. He's like, man, you gotta cut off the noise, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
This bitch is too much.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe it's the artist's constant struggle to like maintain some sort of internal world that is not.
Yes.
Yeah, like-
Anyone that has a practice has to shelter it.
Uh-huh.
Everyone that has a
Yeah.
practice has to shelter it, because because having a practice is a radical act.
Having a practice is a radical act.
100%.
Mm,
Having
tell
a
me more.
practice is about staying. Having a practice is about not receiving invitation. You're being invited to this distraction and you decline. You're being invited
Wow.
into this social circle and you decline. You're being invited into this new thing that might be cool and fresh and you decline. And you go back to the work you did yesterday.
Wow, I love that.
Having a practice and returning to it, deepening something, is the opposite of what you're pushed to do. In society, you're pushed to like jump around on the surface of things and to occupy yourself. Our brains are afraid of silence.
Yes.
So you're constantly encouraged to consume and jump around and do this and follow this urge and follow this craving and eat this and watch that. And the act of having a practice is to constantly say no. I've heard this one beautiful metaphor about meditation by this guru Muji, and he says, meditating well is like standing in a crowd of people and they're all running to hug you. And they're all hugging you and holding you and kissing you, and you hug no one. You let them hug you, and you don't hug them back. And if they're squeezing you and they're crying, and you're just there, you're not hugging anyone back, But it's the only way for me, to make sense of being alive, because I feel like being alive requires deepening an understanding of some abstract. It's incredibly abstract. It's hard to tell what's real. Reality is very strange. Life is strange. And the only way for me to have a meaningful relationship to being alive is to deepen a practice. And that it's a radical act of like rejecting distractions every day and all the time.
Wow. Very well said.
Thanks.
And so you wouldn't say what makes a practice? Like you wouldn't say everyone has a practice. If someone gets up, goes to work, comes like, oh, regular life kind of.
Yeah.
That doesn't constitute a practice necessarily?
My favorite perspective on what being a practitioner is by someone by the name of Ido Portal.
Yeah, of course.
I know you love that stuff. We talk about it. So I would recommend checking out his definition. But my general understanding of what he means is that having a practice is having something you do that you explore with curiosity and care and diligence and commitment and love, and you attempt to deepen your immersion in it every day. And you do that over doing other things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I read this book that I really loved recently by Bell Hooks, who was born by the name of Gloria Jean Watkins, and Bell Hooks was a grandmother name, and she took it as her literary name. And I consider her an incredible teacher, like almost like a guardian angel. She wrote this book all about love, and she says, she speaks about love as a practice, as a radical practice, and she goes like, well, our culture is obsessed with love. We write books about it, movies, love, 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 love. Nobody ever bothers explaining what it is or how do you do it. So like you keep blasting this concept, and there is complete ambiguity around what it is, what it requires, what sacrifices it requires, how to practice it well. And she breaks it down. She breaks it down to 6 components, which I think is a responsibility, care, knowledge, commitment, respect, and honesty. And she breaks down exactly what each of them means. And it's a practice of the present moment.
Yes.
I'm not being made to feel love, like a craving. I'm practicing it in the present moment. It's something that you do in the now. So I think in the same way, being a loving person, having a practice, radical concepts of commitment.
Wow, I love that. Love. Lacan said that love is giving someone something that you don't have. It's basically like that effort to reach out, even though you don't know how exactly, or you don't know what they need exactly or how to give it, but it's this thing. Yeah.
And I think that's the thing in music too. This gesture that we all know what it means experientially as human beings, but it's hard to describe in words. I think when you extend out of yourself, so if you think about like a boxing fight, you do Muay Thai. One of the things they always tell you is that you have to keep your hands up, okay? Because you're guarded here. And when you do this, you're not guarded.
Yeah.
I think in extending out, there's an act of like vulnerability.
Oh, wow, I love that.
And I think
It's a great
vulnerability
metaphor.
is one of the biggest gifts you can give yourself and others, is to be unguarded, is to genuinely expose the gooey center of you to hopefully someone else's gooey center. And that's where all the magic happens.
Yeah, and there's nothing more frightening.
No,
Nothing.
because there's nothing more dangerous.
Exactly. And circle back to the artist life that, again, we battle with that. It's like the others voice,
Constantly.
criticism, politics, where we put, and then
And your own.
and your own.
Yeah,
of
that's the
course.
motherfucker. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking of like, and then how do you deal with that? Like what's the solution? There is no solution. It's an impossibility basically.
I think that's where the word practitioner comes in. You know, it's so hard to define, and you ask like, what's a practice? What's a radical practice? Who's a practitioner? I think it's that. I think it's waking up, making coffee, and then sitting down and looking at the impossible problem again.
Yes.
You know?
Again.
Again.
Wow.
You know, it's sitting at the stuck and the suck with
Wow.
patience and care and faith. Man,
Wow.
I've learned recently, I've gotten slightly better at sitting with things that are really difficult for me. And what is like almost like the cosmic joke that I keep running into is that the moment where you don't know how to do something or it's really hard and you want to do anything but stay in it, it's sometimes just enough to stay. Not even to figure anything out that you didn't know before. If you just stay and kind of, many
right
times you
there.
come out the other side.
Wow.
And all it took was you being able to be like, yes, this sucks now. Ooh, it sucks.
Wow. Wow.
It sucks, but I'm here. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
You know that it's huge, man. And I don't know why that. I don't know why our brains is like run away. I don't know. But if you learn to negotiate with that voice, wow, amazing things can happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boredom, maybe we can call it. You have to pass through boredom. It's maybe it's hard to define because it's.
I imagine boredom is a weird concept for me. It's like a state where nothing that is available to you is appealing to you. Is that how would you describe boredom?
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I rarely feel that feeling
Yeah.
because I would always love to drool and stare at a wall, but I feel like there's so much to do that I can't do that. But boredom, I hardly ever run into that feeling.
Yeah, man, it's that staying, huh? There's no butterflies and unicorns there.
Nothing,
Nothing.
man. It's a barren desert.
It's a barren desert.
It's a barren desert of uncomfort.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a great image.
Yeah, it's what's so funny about being an artist is that everybody thinks you're this like sexual being that constantly flirts with inspiration.
Yeah.
There's nothing further
No.
from the truth. Like,
Right.
I mean, yeah, it has sexy moments, but like, man, it's staring at the blank page.
Man, I'm thinking of we're in my studio now, my new studio, and there's all the toys here, right? Like all the synths, all the drums, but still there's when I come here, sometimes I don't have a purpose, don't have a session or like to just arrive here and sit in this silence. It's so frightening.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like again, sometimes like I have inspiration, I start something. Sometimes nothing. And I just stare at all of these amazing toys and I think like, wow, I can make, anything right now. But you just like sit there with your own voids, like fuck.
Yeah.
Like I have nothing.
Yeah.
That's the part we never talk about it, right? It's almost like, yeah, I wrote in a week upstate. Like I couldn't stop crying the whole week. It's like, no, man, sometimes it's just like nothing.
Yeah. And actually, like if there was like a security camera looking at that room and you saw a musician just sitting in a studio, it's not a horrifying image,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Like nothing, like it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So what is the inner emergency? And how can we get comfortable with that state? And the people who I think we admire, who are prolific and who manage to dig deep into themselves, have that endurance.
Absolutely.
Have that endurance to just like, yeah, it's uncomfortable right now. I'm a little scared. I'm not sure where this is going. I recently took a School of Song class. Have you ever taken one?
No.
Amazing online platform. They bring on a different artist every month, like a songwriter or somebody or a producer, and that person gives 4 lectures once every week and gives an assignment for a songwriting assignment, and then on Saturdays you do song shares with other people that are in the class. And I took one with Blake Mills, the amazing guitar player and producer, who I just saw in LA after, and I got a chance to thank him in person, which was cool. And the first assignment that they have you do before they even introduce the artist is now everybody's going to write a song in 20 minutes.
Wow.
And they put a timer, and 300 people write a song in 20. Man, I haven't written a song with lyrics in, I don't know, like 5 years. And I've written one that I really liked in 20 minutes.
Wow.
And I'm like, all of that suffering alone in a room staring at the blank page, all it took was kind of like a deadline and some accountability from others. And there it is, the thing that you
Right.
thought was over those flaming hills. There it
Yeah.
is.
To just do it. To
Man,
just do something. Yeah.
To, it's just courage.
It's just courage.
It's
yeah.
just really scary to suck. It's just really scary to try and fail. It's really scary to say what's really on your mind. It's really scary to be vulnerable. It's really scary to put melody to chords, chords to melody, lyrics to melody, music into a microphone. It's all just real scary. We have so much writing on this. We've given our lives to music. We have this public personas of being artists, and now the pressure is on. Like, what if it sucks? And it's like, yeah, that's the risk.
Yeah. When I think about it, like a lot of what we try to do as a society, like in the collective consciousness, is to fill that hole, that gap of like silence. I saw, this is a little off topic, but I saw like a small clip of like the CEO of Suno, the AI music shit.
Yeah.
And one of the virtues or the values of the company, you know, like startups, they have like the values, was impatience, not patience, impatience as a virtue.
Yeah.
Basically saying, you know, we can be so much more productive, make so many more songs with AI. Like you can make 50 songs in a day. So like impatience is a good thing. And obviously it's perverse. It's like a perverse, it's a sick society, right? It's a sick, it's a not good place that we've arrived at. But I think of it symbolically in this conversation. It's like we try and also put so much money and effort into this technology, into whatever it is that can fill the gap, fill the hole of like you sitting in a room by yourself, like with that void, and then doing something.
Yeah, absolutely. All of culture is geared towards putting a buffer between you and you, because that meeting has a discomfort in it.
Very well said.
And avoiding discomfort is the alleged prize that we get living in capitalism. This mentality of you can create 50, 1,000 songs a minute. That's capitalism. That's this idea that more equals better.
Exactly.
Vertically integrating everything and streamlining and automating and product to what end?
Yeah.
I think the conflation of that ideology with music is really telling, because music is one of those fields where you're like, what do you mean productive?
Exactly.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like, is a Love Supreme more killing than Blue by Joni Mitchell, or like whatever? Like there are competence applies in really mysterious ways in
Very
music.
mysterious.
Really mysterious.
Yeah, you can write one song a year, but that song is Bohemian Rhapsody, and like
right, and also like
whatever.
Who's
like,
a better singer, Celine Dion or Bob Dylan?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like
it doesn't fit.
yeah,
It doesn't fit.
It does, and it doesn't fit. And I remember that I remember choosing being a musician. Do you remember choosing being a musician?
No.
I do, man. My dad is an actor. And his life kind of fell apart in a big way when I was a young teen. And I was very angry with him. And at that point, I was doing like child actor gigs. He would bring me on, recording studios, doing voiceovers, or like shoot days on films and stuff. And I remember making a choice and I loved music and I loved acting. And I felt talented in both. And I remember choosing music because I felt like in music you can't lie. I was angry with him. I was like, and I was projecting a lot of my anger onto this idea that acting is lying. And I chose music because I felt like it cannot be corrupted. And I still think that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, man, you can say whatever you want about pop music. You can say that it's a machine and there are 20 writers to a song. But man, espresso slaps.
I love pop
It
music.
fucking
Yeah,
slaps.
it
Like,
slaps.
and so whatever. When are you gonna tell me? Oh, it's actually a beat from what? Dude, it's
Yeah,
killing.
yeah.
So there is this thing in music,
Mm.
this uncorruptible thing that I really like love. I feel really protected by music in the sense that I feel like it's inherently uncorruptible.
Really, even I mean, in light of everything we're talking about, facing this capitalistic
With
machine.
the AI stuff,
I mean, not just AI, but like I mean, we exist in capitalism regardless of AI.
sadly, yeah,
Like this, yeah,
yeah,
this again, the thing we just said, it doesn't fit. It's like 50 songs, like growth. Everything
yeah,
has to grow,
yeah.
otherwise it collapses.
That's right.
Do you really think that does not corrupt music?
When you say music, when I say music,
Yeah.
I mean the intimate experience of being hit by sound and
Mm,
being moved by that.
yeah.
That experience, I feel like, remains pure. You can tell me that you don't like the artist, but if I'm hearing a sound and I like it, that enjoyment, I feel like maybe can be like it's not like if I listen to music that was made by AI, I'm gonna get a fatty liver. You know what I mean? Like it can't carry poison. It can't carry a toxic load.
Yeah.
I hate the AI stuff personally, but the way I relate to it is again returning to the idea of practice,
Mm.
which is if I was a kung fu master and you told me that there's a new laser gun, it wouldn't matter,
Mm.
right? Because I'm not trying to kill the most people on the battlefield per minute.
Right.
I'm
Right.
practicing kung fu.
Mm. Wow, I love that.
I'm not racing you.
Yeah, you have this way. I mean, the being committed to the practice protects you in a way. You're
Of
like,
course.
it's what you said about tour.
Yeah.
Like this is my world.
Yeah. It's my garden. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not. All of that shit can happen.
Yeah.
You're not gonna touch my practice, my world.
Hopefully not. I mean, okay, you created 50 songs a minute, and now it's better than me, and it's even more human than humans. You know, I'm sure there'll be like an AI playing plug-in, like a knob that says like human.
Human.
Yeah, like how
Wow.
much like wobble. It'd be like now more human than your grandma. It's like
Yeah.
amazing, good for you, man. It's
Yeah.
like what happens now? Are you not gonna die?
Right. Exactly.
Will you not age? You know, will
Well,
your heart not
exactly.
break when the
Exactly.
person you were married to for 35 years dies?
Wow.
Like, all right. Like,
Yeah,
will you
that's
not cry when your daughter goes to college? Like, you've made a billion songs and
Yeah.
you now are a mogul and you have this house. That's
Right.
fucking killing, dude. Yeah.
filling all the holes that
Yeah.
can't be filled.
That can't be filled. Yeah. I think if you look at your short time on this earth like a game and you're like, how do I want to what's the game plan? How do you want to do this? I think it's much more meaningful, fun, interesting, engaging, exciting, and beautiful to have a practice.
Mm.
And I think that the CEO giants who make all of these things that I think have a heinous effect on culture, man, imagine how they're pushing their envelope.
Mm.
Like they're also at the edge of something.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're doing it not just for the money. I'm sure they're doing it because they're really good at it and it's fun to be good at something.
Right.
You
right.
know, and so we birth these things into the world, and then we have to live amongst them.
Mm.
And I think it's better to have a practice than to like make technology. But that's just me. That's my, I enjoy a lot of technology, and I'm happy a lot of it's there. But for me personally, returning to the practice kind of undermines the relevance of these threats.
I love it. I have a follow-up question. How do you manage So we're circling around this idea of practice, I guess, and money, but like maybe in a more personal sense, how do you manage practice and, well, money really represents in a way the outside world, right? The other society having to engage in that. So you got to pay rent, so you got to do something with those people out there to you
That's
know what
right.
I mean, to
I do.
make that energy move, to
Oh,
make
do
them.
I? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I found for me that it has been a battle for years, really, since music has become my profession. Basically, when money and music are at least overlapping, right? Like I'm here, I can explore something that doesn't have a purpose, that is just pure inspiration, pure practice. I can literally practice, or I can put on a camera and put something on Instagram and like engage with the world out there, which might get a gig, might bring me a gig, might do something. Um,
That has already brought you a lot of, like, you have had tremendous success.
Thank you.
Not,
Y-
man,
yes,
inspiring stuff.
yes, it worked sometimes, right? But I'm saying, like, I mean, again, we're circling around it, but I wonder how you protect that practice, or not, or then like when does the decision to like, okay, now I'm gonna engage with the world, and again specifically with money, with literally like making money, paying rent.
Hmm.
um does it infiltrate like the practice?
Yes. Right off the bat, of course. Everything is infiltrated by everything.
Okay.
The,
Yes.
there are not really, you can't really pragmatically compartmentalize anything in
Yes,
life.
yes, yes.
Everything bleeds over.
Love that.
So that's as a general yes, of course. And then to get into it more, my ideal is that your practice, you're so immersed in your practice that at a certain point you just drop the fear of vulnerability and you just start showing people what you're up to.
Mm.
I think that creating content is amazing. Like, a lot of people create content where they play a really amazing choppy thing for like a minute and they make those every day and they have a bunch of followers on Instagram, and then they can follow up with a educational course on how they got playing like that, and then they sell that. And amazing, man, you can have a career and you're offering value to music enthusiasts, and that's cool. I think what would be interesting to me, because right now I work like a plumber. Right now I go to a place to provide a service, right? I go to a student to teach them. I go to a concert and I play for the people live. I go to a recording studio and I record for an album. So right now my work doesn't scale. So in terms of how money infiltrates the practice, I have to keep working. I have to keep working all the time in order to make my income. My fantasy about how I will one day expand my practice into the digital realm is that instead of high production value, instead of a perfect reel, there will be a moment of beauty and curiosity there. And I feel like Instagram and YouTube are really amazing like that because yes, the good content that was filmed and recorded well does better, but also sometimes it's a shitty phone video and it
Yeah.
explodes because there
Yeah.
was a vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really like that. And I hope that one day I'm vulnerable enough and brave enough to drop the act and just record my practice as I engage in it. And instead of being like, okay, now I'm performing to people, so it has to be tight, exciting, moving, which is cool, but you're still doing jazz hands. It's still razzle dazzle. Like, let me give you a zinger.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm hoping instead to do is what I see Kendrick do and what I see Louis C.K. do and what I see many artists I admire do, which is drop the act fully.
Mm.
Drop the act fully.
Wow. Not easy to do.
Drop the act fully. Here is this vibe. It's weird. I'm not sure what this chord is. It's not flashy. And man, that's a lot of times when I think about Blake Mills, I think about that type of talent.
Yeah.
I mean, he's incredibly flashy. He's an amazing guitar player, but he's not trying to like 80s hair rock tap. That's not quite. There's something there where you're like, huh. It's like a weird flavor.
Mm.
So that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping to
Yeah. Drop the act entirely, man.
drop the
I
act
love
entirely, I
that.
think.
And I'm tying it together. I think only if you have a practice and do it first with yourself.
Yes.
Like if you're familiar with that space to begin with,
Exactly.
which is not easy.
Exactly.
Only then can you. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think if that, to fully answer your question about like income at the intersection and the nexus of a practice and having a career, if I can have an audience around that, around what I really do, who I really am, that would be the fantasy, because then I don't have to put on a face to
Right.
meet my audience.
And then it's sustainable. You just continue being you.
And meaningful. And again, that brings me back to Reincarnated. It's like listening to those lyrics and being like, wow, this is really what's on his mind.
Yeah.
I know, because it's on my mind.
I know. He's deep, huh?
Dude.
Yes. Wow, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Such a pleasure. Love you, man.
So interesting to talk to you. Wow.
Right back at you.
Yeah. Amazing. Beautiful.
Man, good luck with this. I think it's incredible. I think that apropos vulnerability and having a practice, being willing to walk the path like you do is incredible. And I'm sure I have no doubt that it will reach the right audience and open the right hearts, because you're doing it honestly and in good faith. So it's inspiring, man. Thank you.
Tודה, אחי.
בטח.
Yes. Amen.
Amen.